As my boots touched familiar shores, I knew I was home. I had returned back to the land of where I came, for need for repairs and supplies. Home. A familiar sight. The sound of the bees. The smell of the farm. Comfort. It had been so long. But my axe needed sharpening. And my stomach needed food. It's good to be back. Hammering the forge of which I never thought I would return. My hall stood empty, unfinished. The fires were still burning. I had lit them before we left. I guess that's what you get for burning ancient bark. Before heading back, I decided to stay the night, sleeping in my bed one last time. It was refreshing. A real bed. Who could have thought? I left early that morning. The journey is long. There is no need to waste time. I loaded up the ship with supplies and set sail, hoping that Erik had been successful in his mission, that he had found crypts near our fort. Otherwise, my journey would have been a waste. On my way back, I had a close encounter with a troll, standing butt naked, ready to take a bath. But even as he screamed at me, my ship was faster than he could swim, and I safely passed. About half a day's journey after the troll encounter, I discovered something odd. An island in the middle of the ocean. We had passed this way many times, yet I had never discovered it before. I had to investigate this unmarked island. Once I got near, the strangest thing, I don't know if it was the waves or the wind, but it almost looked like the island was floating. From what I know, rocks and boulders and islands sink unless they're standing on something else. Once I stepped a foot on it, it was the strangest thing. Apart from the new minerals I found, it almost felt like it was breathing. And that's when I felt it. A low, mumbling growl, like a bear trying to protect its cubs. It was coming from the rocks. I needed to get off. This island was not only alive, but it was angry, and it was my doing. I set full sail, trying to escape, and as the island quickly began to sink beneath the waves, I barely escaped, almost going down with it. And just as it had appeared out of nowhere, in a moment, it was gone. Deep down beneath the waves, hiding, lurking, not to be seen again. After spending some time seeing if it would appear again, I decided to head home. The journey back was long. The winds did not blow, and the waters were calm. But calm waters are welcome waters. Eventually I made it back, as our fortress came into sight out of the fog. Our safe haven, just on the outskirts of the treacherous swamp, land of undead and other foul things. We spent that day resting up, for tonight we were going to raid the swamp. That evening we headed out. Erik had located a couple of crypts, crawling with rock. He had already done a bit of exploring, bringing back iron and other valuables to our camp. But the undead were too many, even for a capable warrior as Erik. He asked for my help, so I gave him my axe. The swamp, a treacherous place. Danger lurks everywhere. In the trees, in the waters, everywhere. As we entered the crypt, the foul stench of death and decay were all around us. The air was thick, hard to breathe, nauseating. As we started to delve deeper, we could hear the undead scratching against the walls. But even the undead can be slain, especially when they're up against Erik's sword and Rodrick's axe. The first corpse to hit the ground didn't even have time to fight. As my axe hit his head, it split into 2 pieces and its corpse fell to the ground with a thump. The runes went deep. We turned countless times only to find dead ends. The hallways were covered up with mud piles filled with rotten meat and bones. I cannot rightly describe the feeling of dread. The darkness is what gets you. I can hardly feel the stench anymore, but the darkness creeps in, enters your mind, and fills you with dread. As we had cleared out the first crypt without too much hassle, we moved on to the next one. The second crypt was worse. Countless enemies. Same stench though. Same stench. No matter which path we took, We encountered more and more enemies. But no matter how many they sent, they all crumbled under the weight of my axe. Once we had filled our inventories with more iron than we could carry, we decided to head back. But as we left the crypt, we realized it's night. The worst time to be out. Once the sun settles and the darkness creeps in, the swamp turns into a dangerous place. New monsters emerge. Ghosts and wraiths. And they all seek your death. Sometimes you can't even tell if you're mad or not. Even the trees seem alive. Are there hallucinations? Or a real threat? You don't know until it's too late. Our raid might have been short, but it was successful. With our supplies and storages filled with provisions, and iron in our base, now we just needed a place to smelt it. Luckily, Erik had found a fueling camp not far from here. And they will taste my axe. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to join our struggles against the Valheimian beasts. Or if you'd just like to watch our previous struggles, here's a playlist. Until next time, brothers.